A fresh and cheerful morning to each one of you. I hope you all are in the pink of your health and enjoying the lovely sun. Let's make it more powerful and motivational with today's session. I, Mahima Sindhi, on behalf of the entire MMDU family, extend a hearty welcome to each one of you to our series of live sessions where we bring expert professionals and celebrated artists on board to share their pearls of wisdom and their juices of life experiences to learn from. In the words of Sir Abraham Lincoln, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Henceforth, he who cannot obey himself will be commanded. Let us all know how discipline leads to success and virtually taste the fruits of life voyage of none other than a motivational speaker, a podcaster, a startup enthusiast, and an ex-Indian Army personnel, Captain Shashank Shandilya. Let me wait for Sir to join in on board and then I would take the opportunity to formally introduce Sir. Meanwhile, in the comment section, can I get to know how are you all doing? It's a Saturday morning and I'm sure some of you are at work and some of you are enjoying the weekend. I think we almost have Sir. It's a little in terms of his network. So let's wait. Meanwhile, can I get to know how did your Saturday morning start basically? Did you wake up late or did you have you already started with a productive morning so far? Captain Shashank, can I be heard because I can't see you on my screen? It so seems
Um,
that you are a little erratic in terms of your network.
I can see and hear you very well, ma'am.
All right, so I think I can Sir can hear me well. Maybe it's my network. I will just take a second to get it sorted. Meanwhile, can I get the audiences to interact quickly and tell me how has your Saturday morning started basically? Okay. So can I be heard well now?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can see you from I'm able to see you from the start when you started. And
Okay. Okay. I don't know. I think it was my network and probably I was on a little lag. So how are you, sir? Very warm morning to you.
thanks, ma'am, for having me. I mean, it's a privilege to. It's always a privilege to interact with students and at a university to speak.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. So let me take this opportunity to formally introduce you. Captain Shashank Shandilya is an Indian Army veteran loaded with passion unlike fire gun for serving the motherland in heart with a crystal clear goal in mind to serve with an organization that is known for its courage, valor and discipline. He is an exemplar of statement you can take the man out of the army, but you can't take the army out of the man. After coming out of the army, little confused yet determined and disciplined to succeed, Captain Shashank started his startup in Poxo, hoping to help artisans and farmers by helping them export their produce and take the whole process online, which got incubated with NASCOM 10K startup program. Later, he decided to move on and equip himself with the latest learning of business management and channelize his military experience in the real-time corporate world. Mr. Shandilya upskilled himself by doing a management course at the prestigious IIM Lucknow, designed especially for veterans to help transition them into corporate. That is where he got his first break and got on board as AVP, special projects with IARC, a part of the Blackstone Group's Tactical Opportunity segment. He is a doer and a believer who is in a fight with self to be a better version and make a mark in the world. So we welcome you on board, sir. I would let us now discover some insights of your inspiring journey. And we will have a quick question answer round via which I and along with my audience will get to know you more. So the first question that I have for you, sir, is can you share your major transition from being an army personnel to a corporate shark? I mean, this word shark is inspired from Shark Tank India. I'm like binge watching it these days. So, what all stepping stones did you have to surpass as an individual?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me. And when I got out of the army, I mean, in army, everything, although it's a challenging career or a lifestyle that you pursue, but everything is well laid out. I mean, it is governed by SOPs, and you know what you and the training that they provide is exemplary, and you are made ready to face any situation that you may face in the future. So similarly, that training actually helped me to face the corporate world as well, because at the start, coming from a organization where profit is nowhere to be found. I mean, there's no profit. It's a not for profit. It's a government organization, and in corporate it's all about top line and bottom line. So it took some time for me to get accustomed to the corporate world. I And that has been my mantra. I mean, you whenever you are in such situation, try to learn, unlearn, and relearn whatever you did in your past, and take that experience and go with the flow, and learn on the way. And that is how I did. I mean, there are a lot of good people I met at the B school as well as in my career, and they guided me. And the soft skills that I gained over the tenure during my army career, it really helped me to transition smoothly, and then become a contributor. Because it's not like I want to be a passenger कि अब मैं आ गया हूँ, अब मैं काम करूंगा. No, I want to be a
True.
contributor, and I want to see my efforts bringing fruits to the organization, whichever organization I'm with. So that was my sort of journey, and I think now I can say I am accustomed to the corporate world now.
And you are a corporate shark for sure now.
Yeah, you can say
Absolutely
that.
well said. I think your journey itself is so inspiring, and the smile that you keep, the constant smile that you keep while sharing that journey, I think that in itself is like I'm like it's like hats off to you. I mean, rarely do people share their hurdles with a smile on their face, but you are doing so absolutely well, sir. So moving on to the next question. What all traits did you pick from your army career that had a direct practical implication in the corporate world? I mean, if army is the North Pole, so corporate is the South Pole. I mean, army is
Yeah.
all about, working to the T, and corporate is all about thinking out of the box. So it's like two poles completely at an extreme. So how did you use your skills, and was there a direct connect that you could put forward, or was there a lot of modulation that you had to go through? So how was it, sir?
Sure. So let me first clarify. Yes, there are a lot of differences, but if you see, corporate world has learned. It's not just about me. Like I'm bringing those skills. Corporate world itself has learned a lot of things from the armed forces. If you see the terms like strategy, tactics, these are all military terms, but we
Right.
use them in and we have been using in them in corporate world here and there. And then all about leadership, team
Right.
management. What else? Where else you can learn that the team spirit and the team
Definitely.
management that you get to learn in the army. And then there are also army personnel, whether it's a jawan or an officer or a general, he is always motivated to do his best for the country.
Correct.
Similarly, if you are in an organization, you can think of it that way. Like, I'm now with this organization and I'm aligned to its vision. That's why I joined it. And the
Right.
vision seems like a good thing to do at this point in time for me. So therein, I bring all of my skill sets and experience, whatever I learned during the course of my army tenure, and try and transform and transition those all those things into the corporate world. Like team management is a great skill that you can learn during your army, because you are always there with your team. You have to lead from the front. And same
Correct.
thing if you do in a corporate environment, it the team itself sees leader are not, I mean, born leaders. They become leaders by their actions, right? So when your team sees like this person is putting his 100%, and he's not letting me go off track, and he's putting forth his self, and then they get motivated. So I don't really believe in this motivation. I can speak and people become more motivated. So if you see, you can watch some motivational video or you can read all those quotes and you get a temporary high, but what
Right.
keeps you going is your discipline. That is why I chose that topic to be of primary importance for students to
Right.
learn. If you get discipline in your life, you can do wonders.
Definitely. And I think I would completely second your opinion on whatever you said. So, A, collaboration, definitely, it's the need of the hour. I think people confuse leadership with collaboration. I mean, they believe either they can be a great leader or they can be a great team player, but we all know that it goes hand in hand. So, if you have to be a great leader, the first and the foremost thing is you need to know how to be a great team player. Until and unless you know how to work in a team, how can you lead the pack? How can you have those rules working with you? Otherwise there'll be a lot of fights and whatnot. So definitely alliances are something that can, the synergies that
Mm.
happen when there are 10 people working together or 12 people working together, or for that matter two people working together as a whole. I think the synergy that comes out, it's a mega effect, just like the metaverse that we are into today.
Right.
So definitely yes. And like you told, it's about the temporary high that you get. So
Yeah.
we can't just have that permanent motivation from something that is happening. It has to come from within. I might
Right.
get that temporary high, but then I have to utilize that temporary high to take it to another level and then be consistent. Otherwise I think that is a phase
Mhm.
wherein you are there and then it's gone forever, and then it takes an equal effort every day. So like
Absolutely.
I completely agree to what you said. It has to come from within, definitely so. So the next question that I have for you, sir, is how can one become disciplined? I mean, the biggest question, we are talking about discipline, we're talking about discipline as a whole, self discipline, group discipline, team discipline. But how can one become disciplined? That is the biggest question. And I think we've learned it from classrooms, from,
Right.
when we were those little ones in that kindergarten, we were told that, you have to be disciplined, self discipline, monitor yourself and stuff. We've been doing that, but I think we've not even actually known how to put that into reality. So, what is your take on that? How can
Sure.
one
So
do so?
as I mentioned, them discipline has to be. If you want to be successful at anything, then discipline has to be the key criteria to get. If I have to give any equation for that, I mean, I like myself to break down problems into first principles. कि भाई success पाना है, तो
Hmm.
उसके क्या की criteria होने चाहिए. So
Bilkul.
I see कि if you are not disciplined, then success is little difficult to get. But if you are disciplined, then you might get or might not get. That depends on, there's a factor of luck to it also.
But the
But if,
probability increases.
yeah, probability increases. And if you are not disciplined, and then you are definitely destined not to succeed. So if it's a great thing to be disciplined. And how you can be disciplined, let's first define what discipline is. As you mentioned, Abraham Lincoln has told to put your short-term happiness on hold for a long-term gain.
Correct.
I consider that also. And discipline is what keeps you going on the lowest of your lowest days. I mean,
Right.
for example, if I want to be fit, I know how can I achieve fitness. Let's say, or if we even go bigger, happiness. Let's talk about happiness. Everybody wants to be happy. Nobody wants pain and suffering, right?
Right.
That's a I mean, given. So if you break down happiness, what I break down it into a simple equation. In order to be happy, you have to be healthy, you have to be a little bit wealthy, and you need to be, and when I say health, there is an aspect of physical health, there is an aspect of mental
Right.
health. All
Right.
first principle, no jargon, nothing.
True.
And then wealth also is required, because 99% of problems people face because of money. So I would not
True.
say don't go after money. It is
Correct. It's
required.
about being realistic. Very true.
Yeah, and I would say for money, I would say it's like oxygen. If you need it for your survival, but you don't live कि मैं ऑक्सीजन ब्रीथ करने के लिए जी रहा हूँ, ऐसा तो नहीं है. So it should not be the end goal. It's a resource that helps you. So wealth is important, then health is important. Health, you have financial health, then you have mental health and physical health. And for physical health, let's say if you want to be fit, I know I have to exercise daily, eat a balanced diet, and rest. Simple. I mean, first principles: educate, exercise, educate, rest, and balanced diet. Simple. And for if in order to exercise daily, I have to be disciplined, because एक भी
Correct.
दिन मैं miss करता हूँ, then that compounding. अगर even if I do, I all those people who reach out to me how to stay fit and healthy, I tell them just do 5 minutes of exercise daily. 5 minutes. Not, अब ये इसके लिए कोई ये नहीं बोल सकता कि मेरे पास 5 मिनट भी नहीं है. Right? So
True.
5 minutes is what you need, and the compounding effect of those 5 minutes daily will bring you into the top 1% fit people of the global, the planet.
Oh,
So
lovely. This is
yeah,
lovely.
so just 5 minutes. I would say just do 10 squats, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups. That's it. 5 minutes. If you do it daily, the compounding effect will bring you the fitness level of a beginner athlete, I would say.
That's lovely. This is something that I've discovered today. I do
Yeah,
talk about consistency and fitness and how you can make it a habit, but this was something this is which is really new for me. And I think what better than this? You
right.
know?
So you can achieve so much with just 5 minutes of effort daily. So that is where discipline. You cannot say कि मैं discipline कल से बन जाऊंगा, because discipline is not a trait that you acquire by doing a something. It
Correct.
always, as you said, comes from within. And when you break down these problems into first principles and then make a plan accordingly. Let's say मेरे को fit रहना है, मेरे को discipline से fitness मिलेगी, तो मैं 5 minutes डेली एक्सरसाइज करूंगा. आई विल नॉट मिस इवन अ सिंगल डे. आई विल. और फिर देन देयर आर हैक्स टू बी डिसिप्लिन, लाइक
Correct.
if you are talking about fitness, let's say I will gamify the process. I will
Correct.
जैसे बचपन में अपन गेम खेलते
Hmm.
थे, like we used to play Mario and all that, you get one or two lives, right?
Correct.
So what you do is कि मेरे पास एक लाइफ है, I can
Hmm.
miss one day, right? I did my exercise today, I can miss tomorrow, because let's face it, there will be some issues, there will be family, there will be work and everything. So you miss that.
Correct.
But
Correct.
you utilize your one life, right? The one life that you had. So now next you have to do it. Otherwise, game over. So
बिल्कुल
if
सही. I
you,
think
right, if you gamify the process in, and then goal can be like, we are talking about fitness here, so the goal is fitness. You can take the goal like, I want to be an army officer, or I want to be a successful business person. So break down those problems into those challenges into first principles, then make a plan and put small efforts, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of just if you want to be great speaker, let's say you want to improve your communication, people reach out to me कि sir English में कैसे, so I tell them just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day, speak in front of mirror. बिकॉज पहले तो लोगों को प्रॉब्लम होती है कि उनको ये नहीं पता कि मेरे अंदर प्रॉब्लम क्या है. दैट अवेयरनेस इज वेरी गुड, बट यू आर सक्सेसफुल इन दैट. यू कि मेरे को कॉन्फिडेंस इसलिए नहीं आ रहा है क्योंकि मुझे इंग्लिश नहीं आती. So that's great. You know your problem, you know your challenge, and the solution is very simple. Just practice 5 minutes in front of mirror, and the compounding effect of every 5 minutes done during the year, start from the year and end of year, you will notice the change in yourself. I can vouch for that, whether it's fitness, whether it's communication,
definitely
anything. So these are all the hacks that you can
right.
acquire to be disciplined. It's not just कि
Right.
मैं बोलूं कि मैं कुछ मेरे पास कोई मंत्र है कि मैं ये बताया आप discipline.
करेक्ट.
Effort
वो
has
कहते हैं ना, वो मैजिकल वॉन्ड नहीं है कि हम छड़ी घुमाएंगे एंड आप
right.
डिसिप्लिन्ड हो जाएंगे, या वो सिरप नहीं है कि एक ही बार में पियो एंड गायब
एग्जैक्टली,
सब
मैं
कुछ.
कुछ
नॉट
बता दूं
पॉसिबल.
कि मतलब आप ये करिए और कल से आप डिसिप्लिन, नहीं नहीं, करना
नहीं
आपको ही
होता.
पड़ेगा. एंड यू हैव टू inculcate all these things like planning, breaking down problems, and this helps you think clearly, एंड क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग जो आज बोलते हैं हम, दिस इज व्हाट क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग इज, राइट?
एक्चुअली या वेरी ट्रू, वेरी ट्रू। एंड आई थिंक जैसे आपने बोला, इट्स अबाउट दैट बूंद बूंद सागर, जब सागर में मिलती है तो वो सागर बन जाता है। सो इट्स अबाउट
एग्जैक्टली।
द लिटिल लिटिल कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस दैट यू डू। एंड आई बिलीव इट्स अबाउट अडेप्टिंग इट एज अ हैबिट। अब हैबिट है कि सुबह उठ के ब्रश करना है, तो वो हैबिट है, उसके बिना आपका काम नहीं चलेगा। यू वोंट बी एबल टू स्टार्ट योर डे फॉर दैट मैटर परहैप्स, राइट? In the similar manner, it's about the discipline which we are telling that you have to take it as a habit. अगर रोज वो कंसिस्टेंट एफर्ट आएगा, हो सकता है एक दिन मिस होगा, बट सेकंड डे मे बी विल पुट अ लिटिल एक्स्ट्रा कि कल मिस हुआ, आज 10 मिनट कर लेता हूँ, राइट?
एंड इवन
एंड
इवन
डू
आई
हैव
से, लेट्स, अगर कोई प्रोसेस जो है, मान लो लोगों को नहीं पसंद है एक्सरसाइज करना, कि मेरे को एफर्ट इतना डालना, मतलब आई डोंट वांट टू एग्जर्ट माय बॉडी, सो आई विल टेल देम choose something that you love,
that,
right?
right?
Let's say I like listening to a song, particular song, आजकल कोई भी लेटेस्ट सॉन्ग जो आपका चल रहा है, ठीक है, या यू वांट टू, यू लाइक वाचिंग वीडियोस,
Hmm.
टीवी सीरीज और व्हाटएवर, नेटफ्लिक्स और व्हाटएवर, देन यू मेक अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विद योरसेल्फ कि वो सॉन्ग, वो सीरीज मैं तभी देखूंगा जब मैं एक्सरसाइज कर रहा हूँ. So you are
Again,
combining what
hmm,
you love with what you have to do,
to
but you
do,
don't
right?
really like it. So if you make a contact with yourself कि मैं यही तभी करूंगा जब मैं
Hmm.
एक्सरसाइज कर रहा हूँ, then it makes your life easier. Your brain ही
Definitely.
relax. हाँ, मैं मजे भी कर रहा हूँ और मैं
Yeah.
एफर्ट भी डाल रहा हूँ.
Exactly. And I think I take up this example in my trainings as well. So I tell my mentees that let's say whatever you want to do, like you said, so अपने आप को reward देना शुरू कर दो. Give yourself a
Exactly.
reward. So I will get
Yeah,
a slice of pizza if I shed 700 calories this week. If I
yeah.
have, then I owe that pizza to my body, and I think I will then enjoy that pizza like how, because वो मेरा
Yeah.
hard earned reward होगा. So reward
And
yourself with those little things.
exactly. And let me tell you a true story. Once you put in those efforts to shed those 700 calories or whatever,
You won't want
I
to
guess
have that
you will
pizza.
not want to have that pizza because वो लगे
फिर
यार
से,
इतनी
yeah.
मेहनत करनी है, फिर से नहीं लिया. So this
Very
thing
true.
really helps you, I mean, to stay focused on it for a long term.
Very true. Very true. So the next question that I have for you, sir, is have you ever dreamt of serving the nation to then leaving it due to unavoidable circumstances? I mean, nothing is planned in life, right? And it showcases life is definitely very, very uncertain. So how did you face such a blow, and how do you have that smile on your face which does not even tell that you had to go through all of that? So what is the thing about it?
See, for smile, I mean, I feel that everybody should be smiling. It is a contagious thing and it spreads happiness and it
Very
makes your problems, whatever problems, life problems have you, they become small. And as far as my case goes, see, future is always going to remain uncertain. बैक
correct.
इन 2010 और समथिंग, जब लोग अपना 10 ईयर प्लान बना रहे थे, किसी ने सोचा था कि 2020 में ऐसे कोविड हो जाएगा और देन एवरीथिंग विल गो फॉर अ टॉस? नो.
Very true.
You have to accept that fact. Future is uncertain. No matter how much efforts you put in, मैं कितनी भी मेहनत कर लूं, कल मेरे को नहीं पता है, किसी को नहीं पता है. एंड दोज पीपल हु गेट इनटू इट, दे डोंट रियली अंडरस्टैंड कि आगे क्या होने वाला है, वो बस आपका बेवकूफ बना रहे हैं. तो आई वुड टेल देम, you accept the fact that future is uncertain, you prepare for the worst, right, and hope for the best. So that is how I take it. मैं one day you are leading a team in snows of Kashmir Valley, and next day you are in a hospital in
Hmm.
Delhi. Then you get a lot of time to introspect कि मैं कर क्या रहा हूँ, मेरी life कहाँ जा रही है, and all that. And after a while of thinking, that awareness which I speak about, you get to know कि भाई किया, देश की सेवा करी, 6 साल आपने इस करी, बहुत शिद्दत से करी, and you always wanted to do that. Now
Hmm.
it's time to contribute to the society in a different manner, to the
True.
well-being of the nation. Even today, if you are paying your taxes on time, if you are doing your duties rightfully, you are
It's a
all
major contribution.
yeah, you are contributing to the nation. It does
Exactly.
not have to be everyone has to go and serve at the border or in the
Hmm.
armed forces. You can do your duty to the nation right here and right now at present by being a responsible citizen. So that is how
Very
I
true.
feel. मैंने 6 साल फौज में रह के देश की सेवा करी, अब मैं बाहर आके अपने तरीके से जो मेरे स्किल सेट्स हैं,
Hmm.
लाइक आई एम स्पीकिंग टू यूनिवर्सिटी स्टूडेंट्स, आई कैन, इफ इवन इफ आई इंस्पायर वन स्टूडेंट to do good for the society, then
You've
my
done
job
your
is,
part.
yeah,
Correct.
I do my
Correct.
job. So that is how I see it. So future is always going to remain uncertain. Don't get bogged down by things के ये हो गया मेरे साथ, तो ओहो मैंने तो लाइफ, मेरी तो पेंशन भी नहीं हुई, मेरे तो क्या हो गया। अगर इस तरह की सोच रखेंगे, दैट नेगेटिव थॉट्स आल्सो कंपाउंड, like positive things compound, negative thought also compound. That is how people go towards a serious problem, that is depression. So
Very true.
if you if you think, become, I would not say just optimist, because there's a wonderful quote: an optimist builds the plane and a pessimist builds the parachute, right?
Hmm.
So both aspects are important. So I would say rather be a realist, hope for the best and expect the worst, right?
Correct.
So
I think we've
just
we've all known these things. Yeah.
yeah, if you know that and you have that awareness, then every challenge life gives you, so we say in army, try me. Don't say why me, say try me.
Right. Yeah,
So,
very true. And
so
like
that
they say, impossible begins with a possibility of doing something. And it's
right,
about, it's like we know these things, but probably we want somebody to tell us those things. And like you told, that temporary high should be utilized to the utmost advantage. Wherein I think
right,
people just miss it. They're like, "Aaj to I am totally motivated. Aaj मैं ये कर दूंगा, वो कर दूंगा." And at the end of the day, do nothing. They just sleep and sleep for 10 hours. आज मैंने अपनी body को rest दिया. Good, you gave rest to your body.
mm,
Kudos. But at the
mm,
same time, उसके बाद क्या किया? कुछ नहीं. The
right,
same routine. So that is not going to help. It has to
yeah.
come from within. That's the core key, basically.
Exactly, and you have to bring in that जोश, जैसे वो मूवीज में आजकल दिखाने लग गए हैं, हाउस द जोश. So
I
you have
said.
to keep the josh high if you want. If you have set big goals for yourself, then it's not going to work like कि मैं आराम भी करता रहूं पूरे टाइम, and the future is always going to remain uncertain. आज तुम्हारे लिए
Correct.
कुछ अच्छा है, वो कल शायद रहे ना रहे. So when you have those fruits of your family and everything, you do your best today. कल क्या होगा देखा जाएगा. So that is how I look it, right?
Correct. I mean, like in corporates, we talk about planning, but at the same time, I think the idea only cannot really work wonders. There has to be a plan, and there has to be a plan of action. Basically, planning
Yeah,
log does this notes भर रहे हैं, Excel sheets. They're filling like how? मतलब digital data, the handmade data, everything is there. But uska plan of action, abhi that is into the working process. So that plan of action is something that's important
yeah,
now.
I always say patience with result, patient with results, and impatient with action.
Very true, very true. Superb. So, moving on to the next question, sir. How does determination look like? We've been talking about motivation and determination. So, is there a fixed standard to spot ones with determination? I mean, people come and tell me. So, my mentees, ma'am, I was so determined for this job. I knew that I could crack it. It was very simple. The interview was very plain sorted. It was like a cup of tea. But then I didn't get hired. So, what do you think, ma'am? What could be the reason? So that I have to question them back. Were you that determined? Did you put in those efforts? So the results and the answers, you know how they are, right? So how can one check if one is determined?
See, I would like to quote Shahrukh Khan here. अगर आप किसी चीज को दिल से चाहते हो तो पूरी कायनात सच में उसको आपको मिलाने में लग जाती है. If
Bilkul.
if you don't get that, then you were not actually determined, or whatever you want to say, कि you didn't really want that hard enough. If there is some issue with your planning and or anything else, maybe a little bit factor of luck also, then that planning part can be sorted out, and you have to focus on that part, not the luck part. लोग भागते हैं लक के पीछे कि मैं भगवान की शरणों में चला जाऊं, या मैं ये अंगूठी या whatever, मैं अपना नाम चेंज कर लूं और मेरा ये हो जाए. No, it is not going to work. There will always be a aspect of unknown luck. वो आप भूल जाओ, वो आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है. Like future is not uncertain, luck is also uncertain, and I have seen hard working people getting lucky all the time. So
Very true.
that is how it takes a decade of preparation and effort to become an overnight success. So
Very true. Very
ये
well put.
अगर आप एफर्ट्स पुट इन कर रहे हो अपने उस गोल के प्रति, जो भी है आपका, whatever your goal is, how high it can be, But if you break down, again coming back to first principles and breaking down कि उसके ऊपर एक्शनेबल आइटम मैं कितने बना रहा हूँ, कि डेली मैं 5 मिनट या 10 मिनट, 15 मिनट, आधा घंटा, वट एवर माई कैपेसिटी और बैंडविथ अलाउज, आई पुट इन दोज एफर्ट्स टुवर्ड्स दैट. And then no one or no force in this planet can stop you from achieving your goals.
Very true.
Even any absurd goal that you have, कि मेरे को अगर 100 करोड़ कमाने हैं या मेरे को एक सीईओ बनना है, आप एंट्री लेवल जॉब का सोच रहे हो, आप अगर लॉन्ग टर्म में आपको ये, अगर आपके विजन है, तो उसको आप ब्रेक डाउन करो कि आज मेरे को यही जॉब चाहिए, यही जॉब करूंगा तो मैं आगे चल के यहाँ सीईओ बनूंगा. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. So don't limit your options with just one thing, I would say. Diversify your options. Have one habit or thing that makes you creative, one habit or hobby that makes you fit, and one habit or hobby or work that makes you money. If you work on all these things, simple enough to get anything, any goal that you set yourself, with combined with all these daily efforts, you can
Correct.
achieve those goals. Then that is how your determination will come to know. लोग बोलते हैं
Correct.
मेरे को पैशन क्या, मैं इसके लिए पैशनेट हूँ, बट आर यू रियली दैट पैशनेट फॉर दैट थिंग?
Exactly.
वरना आप
Hmm.
वही कर रहे होते हैं, आप उसी के बारे में बात कर रहे होते हैं हमेशा
Hmm.
20. एंड
Correct.
एक चीज आपको जरूर समझनी है, आई वुड अर्ज स्टूडेंट, you cannot be passionate about 100 things. You have to
Correct. It's
एक से
impossible.
दो maximum, one or two things that will you will always enjoy, and you can learn about them yourself by just introspecting कि कौन सी ऐसी चीज है जिसके बारे में सोच के मैं डे ड्रीमिंग करता हूँ, या कौन सी ऐसी चीज है जिसके बारे में कभी भी बात चल रही हो या कोई भी वीडियो हो मैं उसको स्किप नहीं करता,
कर
या
सकता.
वहां पे मेरा मन करता है वो बात करने. दैट इज द
Hmm.
ओनली थिंग दैट यू आर पैशनेट अबाउट. रेस्ट ऑल इज नॉइस. वो
Very
आपको
true.
अगर फिल्टर, इफ यू फिल्टर आउट दैट नॉइज, देन यू कैन बिकम फोकस्ड एंड यू कैन बिकम डिटरमाइंड. तो वो एक्चुअली में प्रॉब्लम वहां हो जाती है कि आपको
बिल्कुल.
डिटर्मिनेशन, आप सोचते हो मैं इसके लिए भी हूँ उसके लिए भी हूँ. नहीं, आप एक या मैक्सिमम दो चीजों के लिए डिटरमिन्ड हो सकते हो. इफ यू इंट्रोस्पेक्ट वेल, यू विल नो व्हाट दैट थिंग इज.
वेरी ट्रू. एंड आई थिंक जैसे आपने बोला, इट्स वेरी इजी टू यूज दोज रोजी वर्ड्स,
या
मोटिवेशन, पैशन, ये सब सुन लिया इंटरनेट पे, एवरीबडी देयर इज अ बज अराउंड इट, सो इट्स इजी टू यूज दोज रोजी वर्ड्स. But when you actually see those rose in reality, it is full of thorns, and you have to get over those thorns as well.
राइट.
And it's about having widened spectrum, like you said. Don't limit yourself. It's about having your horizons going, skies and beyond. And that is when you can do it. And of course, the consistent effort that comes to the key.
राइट.
Very, very well put, sir. So, moving on to the next question. Our country and our education system teaches us how to celebrate success, but what to do in case one fails is always an untouched spectrum. We've had people talk about it, लेकिन अभी भी उतने खुल के बात नहीं होती है. कोई भी पेरेंट जब अपने बच्चे को प्रिपेयर, आई मीन आई अंडरस्टैंड इट्स अबाउट बीइंग पॉजिटिव, having a very optimistic bent towards something, but at the same time, like we say, there is always a probability, like a coin. अगर
या
अच्छा होगा तो बुरा भी हो सकता है,
हो सकता
लेकिन
है,
वो
एंड यू हैव
बुरा
टू
भी
बी
हो सकता
प्रिपेयर्ड
है.
फॉर दैट. या
करेक्ट. लेकिन मुझे लगता है सर, इंडियन पेरेंट्स बात ही नहीं करते हैं. वो कहते हैं अरे नहीं, अब शगुन हो जाएगा, गलत क्यों बोला मुंह से, गलत नहीं बोलना है, सो वो हमेशा हो जाएगा तेरा पेपर क्लियर ही बोला जाता है. अगर नहीं होगा तो तुझे क्या करना है, वो कभी बात ही नहीं की जाती. एंड व्हेन
राइट.
समथिंग लाइक दैट हैपेंस, व्हेन एवर देयर इज अ फेलियर दैट स्ट्राइक्स, I think the child gets suffocated. He doesn't
राइट.
know how to share that, and probably even if he does, the parents don't know how to react. They want to support the child, but their expressions and their body language is a total different game altogether.
राइट.
So, how do you think that, what is your mantra to face failures?
See, I learn more from failure stories than I learned from success story, because in success story everything went well, every aspect that could go well went well.
Went well.
And in failure stories you learn more, because you get to know कि ये invert principle जो होता है कि if, just like I talked about happiness, if you want to be happy, if you are not healthy, I would say healthy person wants 100 things, a sick person want only one thing, to become healthy. So इसका मतलब ये समझ में आता है कि अगर आप हेल्दी रहोगे तो आप हैप्पी हो सकते हो, नहीं हो हेल्दी तो हैप्पीनेस नहीं मिलेगी। तो दैट इज द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इन्वर्जन, कि अगर मैं ये चीज नहीं करता हूं तो डेफिनेटली ये चीज नहीं मिलेगी। तो सक्सेस स्टोरीज में आपको सिर्फ वो चीजें सीखने को मिलती हैं जो कई करीब बंदे ने, और वो सही हो गई एंड ही गॉट सक्सेस। बट इन फेलियर स्टोरीज यू गेट टू लर्न ऑल दोज थिंग्स जो हमें नहीं करनी है, और या फिर करनी है इन ऑर्डर टू गेट सक्सेसफुल। सो
या
दैट
अगर
इज
हो
हाउ
जाए तो
आई।
उसका करना क्या है. So it's just like
राइट।
that law firms and lawsuits. When we talk about case studies, MBAs or otherwise
या
also,
या
we talk about case studies. So I think one gets to know कि अगर ऐसा हो जाए तो आपको क्या principle use करना है life में. How do you have to deal or tackle with the situation? Because I think learning can not always be experiential. At times it is something that you learn from others' experiences as well. Just because
राइट।
something didn't work well for you, might be it works well for me, or might be I have a learning कि आपने उसको ऐसे tackle किया था, and maybe I can also use this, or maybe a mix and match of other options.
Right. And ultimately, all these resources and experience of others and experience of self help you plan better. Ki
Correct.
I am hoping for the best, but I am also at the same time expecting the worst. And ये चीज हो गई तो मैं ये करूंगा। अगर ऐसे, इट्स ऑल अबाउट प्रोबेबिलिटी, वर्ल्ड इज फुल ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी, कि ऐसा हुआ तो ऐसा हो सकता है, ऐसा। इफ यू थिंक इन दैट टर्म्स कि ये हुआ तो आई एम रेडी, कि मेरे को पता है ऐसा हुआ तो मैं ये कर लूंगा। And if you think in that terms, then you plan better. You have your plan A, B, and C, whatever ready. In FOS, they say ki there is a plan A, there is a plan B. If plan A works, well. If it doesn't work, plan B. And if both don't work, then just too bad. So just too bad, and achieve. Then you accept that fact कि हाँ, मैंने जितनी planning हो सकती थी मैंने करी, and नहीं हुआ तो I move on. I don't just get bogged down कि ये अब मेरी life में ऐसा हो गया है, and then I just give up. So giving up is never in my dictionary, and it shouldn't be in anyone's dictionary. So
Very
that
true.
is how I see. Learn from others' failure and yourself, whatever failure. Because the important thing is, if you see a graph, like एक स्टॉक मार्केट में आप ग्राफ देखते हो तो वो ऐसे जाएगा, फिर ऐसे नीचे, फिर ऊपर, फिर नीचे। बट इन लॉन्ग टर्म दैट slope of graph, the trajectory is upwards.
It's
There will be
upwards. Very.
there will be short ups and downs, ups and downs. But ultimately, if your graph is going upwards, this trajectory is upwards, then you should be satisfied, I would say, कि हाँ, मतलब failures तो आएंगे, that is inevitable, but I am able to overcome those failures and achieve whatever I have set to achieve.
Very true, and I think it's like you talked about the upward rising graph. So what I imagined in my head was a mountain. So let's say somebody is
Yeah.
climbing a mountain top. So you will have those bumps and hurdles for sure. You might fall as well and maybe move down to a level wherein you had
Mm.
already climbed. But then definitely the top is where you have to reach. That is the goal, and nobody can stop you from reaching that goal
Right.
because your direction is somewhere which is
Upward.
leading you to the top. Very
Yeah.
true. Very well put, sir. So the next question that I have for you is, how can one become successful? And what is your style of climbing the success ladder?
Sure. So I would say there is no definite definition for success, but if I have to, if somebody puts a gun to my head and I have to give out a definition or keyword, I would say in only one word that comes to my mind, that is persistence. Talent comes and goes. I have seen a lot of talented people going nowhere.
Correct. It
Hard
can
work,
become obsolete at a point. It can
yeah,
become not
and
really useful. Very true.
with technology changing overnight, you never know what works today will not work tomorrow. So hard work you can do up to a point, but that persistent, if you are persistent with anything, that is my mantra. If I am putting small efforts, जैसे we talked about exercise, if I am putting 5 minutes of my day towards my health, then I am persistent enough to do it for a long term and achieve fitness for a long term. ये नहीं कि आज मैं, जब कोरोना हुआ तब लोगों को रियलाइज हो कि नहीं, अभी फिट रहना भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। यू कैन,
Very
इफ
true.
यू सी the facts and figures, all it was very unfortunate, we lost a lot of people, but if you look closely, lot of the people had already some comorbidities, they were overweight or they were not fit as according to their age. So
Correct.
दैट ब्रिंग्स द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ फिटनेस, एंड वही चीज आपके करियर में भी लागू होती है.
बिल्कुल.
If you set forth your goals, your plan is clear, and if you remain persistent on that path, then no one can stop you from getting that success. It is your right, and you should always feel like it is my right to get successful in life. Nobody can stop you. There will be challenges, there will be shortfalls, there will be days then when you don't feel like it. Sometimes some days जब मेरा मन नहीं कर रहा होता एक्सरसाइज का, आई कीप, मैं अपने जूते मेरे रखे हैं साइड में, एक्सरसाइज शूज, आई कीप एंड वॉचिंग, आई कीप ऑन स्टेयरिंग देम फॉर 15 minutes, आधे घंटा. But after that half an hour of fight, I wear them shoes and I go out for the jog or gym, whatever. Because
Hmm.
not every day you will feel like doing, but that is where discipline kicks in. कि वो करना है, मिस नहीं करना है. And if you
बिल्कुल.
remain persistent on whatever path that you choose, you will achieve success. So that is
I think
the
a great
mantra.
learning. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think a great learning. So persistence is something that can actually
Yeah.
help you. There is a no assured formula or an equation that if you apply
Yeah.
this formula to your life,
Hmm.
success will come your way. I think the astrologers also do not say that. And I think every
Yeah.
medicine that we take comes with a 10% chance that might be it won't work for you. So we all know,
Every.
everybody knows that there is a probability of not, getting what is, aspired for.
Yeah.
But then it's, yes, we can work towards it.
Right.
Very
Things,
well
some
put.
things are not in your control. You just
Exactly.
you have to accept a lot of things. Future is not in your control, luck is not
Correct.
in your control.
Correct.
And
Correct.
when you have that awareness, you keep on working, which is important. You noise is all gone and you are focused. That is,
Right.
ये जो buzzwords हैं, इनको खाली बोलने से नहीं, कि focus,
करना
determination, whatever,
पड़ेगा.
ये
Hmm.
सब अपने ही अंदर है. Awareness comes from within, right?
Very true. Very true. Very well put, sir. So the next question that I have for you is talking about self-control and the power of resisting temptation fall under the umbrella of being disciplined. So to what extent do you agree to this?
Sure. I mean, self-discipline, as we put it, or you have to contain yourself from short-term pleasures. If you want to achieve success in long term, or you want to achieve a goal for a long term, कि मेरे को आज ही फिट नहीं होना है, मुझे अगले 5 साल 10 साल में भी फिट रहना है, या आज ही मुझे अमीर नहीं बनना है कि मैं बस खाली, if I buy Bitcoin or something, I will become rich. There's no get rich quick thing. It is always somebody else getting rich off of you. So
Hmm.
you have to understand and accept the fact that short-term pleasures will not lead to long-term gains. So if you have a long-term vision in your mind, then you naturally, like we talked about, अगर आप हफ्ते भर effort put in करोगे अपने exercise schedule में, then you will not feel like having that short term pizza or whatever. But
Hmm.
yes, you have to, again, I will come to the fact that future is uncertain. अच्छा हो सकता है और बुरा भी हो सकता है. तो I being coming from, I mean, I am been in a finance industry, so I'll put it in that terms कि hedge करके चलो. Hedge is
Hmm.
something like you buy an insurance today for an unfortunate outcome later on. So I would enjoy whenever I go out, I enjoy with my friends, my family. I will eat whatever I want. Doesn't matter. बिकॉज कल तो मैंने भी नहीं देखा ना, कि अब फिर बाद में सोचेंगे अरे यार उस टाइम खा लेना चाहिए था, आप तो खा ही नहीं सकते. सो you
हाँ,
have to
very true.
balance, you have to take a hedge, and for that I have a very simple strategy. I think Steve Jobs also puts it that way. Every day when I get up, I look at myself into the mirror and ask myself, ki, will I be doing the things that I want to do today if it was the last day of my life?
Hmm.
अगर आज मैं वो चीज जो करने जा रहा हूं, वो क्या मैं करता अगर ये मेरा आखिरी दिन होता? And if the answer is no for continuous 15 or 20 days, then I stop what I am doing and I totally switch off from that and I move on. Because life is too short.
Very
YOLO
true.
is a thing, right? You only live once,
It is.
but if you make it worthwhile, then once is enough. And
Exactly.
future
Exactly.
uncertain है, so you have to make a balance. You have to enjoy also today, क्योंकि कल तो हमने भी नहीं देखा. कोरोना में इतने लोग चले गए, उन्होंने नहीं सोचा था कि ऐसा हो जाएगा.
ऐसा हो
So
जाएगा, बिल्कुल।
you have to make a balance. So coming on to the point, you have to enjoy little pleasures also, little rewards, but they cannot go haywire कि बस अब मैं
Hmm.
उसी में चला गया. Because again, ये जरूरी नहीं है कि कल आपको कुछ हो सकता है. आप जियोगे फिर 60-70 साल तक जियोगे,
Exactly.
तब
Yeah.
how will you? So
Yeah. So
है,
like this excess of everything is bad. So there has to
yeah,
be a put
a
standard and an
balance.
amount to it. Enjoy करो,
Yeah.
but इतना नहीं करो कि कल enjoy करने के लिए बचो नहीं.
हाँ, और ऐसा
So
भी नहीं है
that
कि
is,
आप आज सारा एंजॉयमेंट बंद कर दो और बस
हाँ,
तभी करेंगे, रिटायर होंगे तभी
बिल्कुल.
करेंगे. नहीं, नहीं, नहीं.
कल किसने देखा है?
Hedge.
It's
I
it's
would,
like having that balance.
yeah,
Very
just
full,
hedge your
very well
future. Right. Good.
put. Superb. It's about I learned this word hedge from you, and I think I'm going to use it up in my further sessions and my trainings for sure now.
Sure,
I
sure.
Yeah, I mean this was something that was very nice. So moving on to the next question, sir. Your work has been published on varied platforms like Humans of IT Companies. I read that article and I loved the way it was, incorporated and the way the story moved on. And I think I could relate myself to you even when I had not met you for the fact. And the Captain's podcast. I saw your videos going viral, like how and the way you explain people. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So, it's yourself, you managed YouTube channel, etc. So how does the fame taste basically? And had you
See,
ever imagined you will get that, flavors of fame as well?
to be very honest, I mean, I don't really feel different. I mean, I still feel I am doing whatever is good for me and a little bit of. So it's always about incentive. I like helping people. I like, so a lot of people used to reach out to me कि अब कैसे I want to be fit or I want to I'm facing all these challenges, how to overcome that. So I found it's beautiful medium to where I can record videos or podcast, and that can be seen by any person anywhere in the world at any point in time. So
Right.
that's how it makes my job easier, and it at the same time it is helping people. So
Very true.
उससे the leverage that I get from all these mediums. So that's how I started the Captain's podcast. It is available on YouTube, Spotify, and others, Ghana and all. तो the aim was to help people and create awareness कि आपको पता चलता रहे कि एक्चुअली में हमारे साथ क्या हो रहा है and what is going around us, and then how you can overcome all those failures or whatever challenges that you face. And talking about fame, I don't really feel this fame ऐसा कुछ है. मतलब I always I want to stay humble and I want to always remain approachable because I learn more from you. Like we are interacting, I am learning a lot of things from you and from others,
Right.
and I reply and to every email, every message that I get, because
Right.
you never know what things that other person is intending to do or what he's bringing, and what I can learn from him. So the it is mutual, and
Correct. It is always and always two ways.
and, and no matter how much famous or whatever you become, you have to stay humble. कि आसमान की तरफ मेरी निगाहें जरूर है पर पैर मेरे जमीन पे ही रहेंगे हमेशा.
बहुत अच्छे. And I think only humble people can say that. Only and only humble people and people who are down to earth and who hold very strong to their roots can say this. Otherwise, फेम किसको अच्छा नहीं लगता और उड़ना किसको अच्छा नहीं लगता. लेकिन ये नहीं
राइट.
भूलना है कि जमीन नीचे है
पैर
एंड
हमेशा
अगर
जमीन
ज्यादा
पे
उड़
रहने.
गई तो
अगर आप पैर
ये
उठा
होगी.
दिए, ज्यादा उड़ने
बिल्कुल,
लगे तो मुंह के बल भी गिरते हैं फिर लोग.
बिल्कुल,
तो
बिल्कुल,
मुझे नहीं
बिल्कुल.
गिरना मुंह के बल. आई वांट टू स्टे ट्रू टू माई सेल्फ. आई वांट टू हेल्प द कम्युनिटी. आई वांट टू the prime reason I joined the forces was to serve the nation, and
Right.
that is what I'm continuing to do now. I want to
Absolutely.
bring ideas. I want to bring creative ideas from others as well as mine to a platform and reach out to a lot of people, and so that we can share and collaborate and uh, bring society to a better place.
Absolutely. And I think the pledge that you've taken about breaking boundaries,
Yeah,
be it geographical location, time zones, people from
yeah.
different age groups, whatsoever. And the loveliest thing that I, enjoyed about the conversation when you said it's about serving the nation. It's not about being at a status wherein you can serve the nation. It's about doing it from whatever place you are and contributing. So the
Yeah.
first and the foremost thing that you said, like you said, you can't take the army out of your heart,
Yeah.
right? So it's about being a responsible citizen. A simple
Yeah.
thing as paying taxes. It's about being a
Yeah.
responsible citizen.
Right.
You are contributing to the country. So
Yeah.
what better than that, right? Not every mother has the heart to send their children to
Yeah.
the army. I must appreciate your parents for doing so.
No,
And I
I
was
mean,
reading this early where you
even
mentioned
my
about the mother.
even my mother, see, after all, she's an Indian mother. She doesn't want her
Right,
son to go and all that. Then you have to manage things. Like I used to tell her, नहीं भाई मेरा तो बस कंप्यूटर पे देख के बताना है कि यहाँ पे टेररिस्ट है, दूसरे लोग जाते हैं. Although that's not true, right? You, if you are in
correct,
Kashmir,
correct.
you are very well target of any day. You there can be anything. But I want to calm her down. I don't want her to stress all the day. So now she
Right.
understood कि ठीक है चलेगा.
So that's what I said. It's not every mother is that courageous to send their children up front and then let them deal with their atrocities. But at the same time, I think bingo and lot of strength to the mothers who do so. So it's about
Yeah,
whatever effort you can do. That is something that is important. मतलब कुछ बड़ा बनने के बाद ही बड़ा करना is not important.
not
छोटे रह
really.
के भी कुछ बड़ा करना is something that I think that's the key.
Yeah.
Very well put, sir. And really inspired. And my heartiest wishes and greetings and congratulations to both your parents. I mean, they've done a wonderful job, and you are continuing to do that. So even
Yeah.
if you left the army, that army didn't go out of you, and you are still
Mm.
continuing to serve the nation in whatever tits and bits possible. So I think
Right.
that is amazing. So
Thank you.
moving on to the last question, since the time doesn't really allow us. So
Mm.
any tips that you'd like to share with the budding leaders and the nation builders of tomorrow? What is it that they should start young only?
See, my message always remains clear, and I think we brought that into our conversation as well. Choose your goals very carefully, and you cannot have several goals. कि मुझे ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है. There can be some items on your bucket list. Do that. It's really important to be satisfied. Do things for yourself. But at the same time,
Correct.
think about our society, because India is a nation which is a developing nation. We are not developed, and it's a long way to go. And you are the builders and creators of tomorrow. Then if you don't put in your best today, then the same thing will be said to the future generations. So
Very
put in your best at whatever you do. I would really urge students to explore different things and find that you love. And if you
right.
love what you do, then you don't really have to work another day in your life, because what seems like work for someone else, it would like feel like play for you.
Pleasure,
That
right.
is where it is really very important to find that thing that you love and do what you love. There will be challenges, there will be shortfalls, there will be pitfalls which will stop you from doing that. But you have to plan in such a way, put persistent effort, then you can achieve wonders. And if people like me, or I'm not that successful or whatever, but whatever I could do, it is because of those persistent effort. Because I always say in start of any talk or lecture that I give, कि I have a very average IQ. I know that I'm not a genius. I am very lazy, right? I'm very lazy. I have to be motivated really to do something. So वो आपको अगर रीजन पता है कि मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि मेरे को पता है अगर आज मैं फिट नहीं रहूँ, एक्सरसाइज नहीं करूंगा, तो मैं कल फिट नहीं रहूंगा, और फिट नहीं रहूंगा
Correct.
तो देन आई लूज माई हेल्थ. So that is a great motivation for me. So even though I'm lazy, but I have that motivation. The only thing that works for me is I am persistent. But
Right.
what if I choose, I set my eyes on something, then I will make sure that I achieve it, no matter how humongous that goal would be. I
Right.
keep on doing small efforts. I'm very patient with results, and you have to be impatient with actions. ये नहीं कि मैं कल करूंगा या परसों करूंगा. मैं एक्शंस आज कर लो, रिजल्ट्स का मत सोचो. वही जो हम हमें बड़ों ने सिखाया है कि कर्म करते जाओ, फल की चिंता मत करो.
मत
And
करो
that
बिल्कुल.
is my message. Just do your best and find out what you love, and then you will not have to work another day in your life. That will be your passion, and that will bring you whatever benefits, monetary benefits, and happiness to your life. Stay persistent, stay true to yourself.
Very well put, sir. And I think your words, that every single word that you've said is leaving an inspiring mark on me for sure. And I'm sure everybody who's hearing out the audience, the comment section is already flooded with great positive comments. So I think everybody got inspired by everything that you shared from your life experience. So I must admit that your life journey and successful achievements in career speaks volumes about your work. We've all had plenty of takeaways and actionables to take home. In the words of Captain Shashank, ladies and gentlemen, always strive to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Don't hesitate to take new risks. Keep on exploring new frontiers. And as Nike says it, do it right. So I love this when I was reading your article, and I think I will surely do so. So wishing you huge success, luck, and love your way. Thank you so much for joining in today. It was an absolute pleasure, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, ma'am. It was my pleasure and privilege to interact with you and other fellow students, and I wish them all the very best. Do make your mark in the world, and there is no limit to what you can do. Nobody,
Definitely.
don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Definitely. Thank you so much, sir. It was an absolute pleasure. Looking forward.
Sure. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Have a great day, sir.
Jai Hind.